So this is a story about my company. I don't own this company, but I have become the chairman of the company, and I would like to share what did I do in my career which benefited me in building this company to this level. Now this is about my background. I am a mechanical engineer, but I did MBA in HR at a later part of my career because my mentor told me that if you don't understand people, probably you will stop somewhere. So XLRI is a premier institute in India which is specialized in HR. So I did that. Then I have 30+ years experience of running the companies, basically starting from greenfield, starting from scratch to the level of growth. And I do work for a charity organization in India where we try to teach, rather give education, free education to kids whose income is less than say $5 to $10 per month. These are the kids we select and we try to teach them. And I like to practice yoga and I listen to Indian classical music. So my first day of the job was 7/7/77. I selected it because I passed out in 77. And there are many things which happened uniquely with me. I learned some management tools. At the start of the career, I learned something in the central time of my career, and all of them had different impact. I would like to share those because when I attended the economic forum 2 days back, again people were talking about the same problems which I had when I started my career. So the problems haven't changed, only thing the nomenclature had changed. So I will quickly give you background about my company because my success story is all about how we do business and how we create value. So it will give you some idea on value creation. That is why I am showing these slides. So we are located, this is the map of India. We are located somewhere here on the western side, near a place called Mumbai, all of you may be knowing. And we have got these plants all over India. So one plant is here, one is here, one is here, one is here, and one is here. So having plants all over the India, what we decided was that we would like to meet all customers' requirements with shortest lead time. The concept which we try to follow is if you really want to get a sale is dependent on two things. Number one is somebody should need your product, then you should deliver the product, and you should get the margin. So if you look at all these three things, our business solutions of generating value are around all these three. So by having these plants at various locations, we drastically cut down the delivery lead time. Because according to us, every business, there is a customer tolerance time. If somebody wants to buy something on, say, Amazon, he will go to the website, if you find something, he will buy, otherwise he will go somewhere else. So the customer tolerance time is hardly 10 seconds. So we identified what is the customer tolerance time in our case, and accordingly we built our supply chain to meet it. Then while building the value, what we found out is that value has two components. Number one is that we offer a price to a customer, and customer sees the benefits. Naturally, if the benefits outweigh the price, customer is going to buy it. So we did a lot of work in understanding that how we will add more value for same product. And we found out that when we started our company, one of our biggest problems was that our supplier base were very unreliable. So we did a lot of work in going back and developing those so that the value we create, we will be able to retain it and we will not have an instance where customer will come back to us saying that the product doesn't work. So we did backward integration as appropriate to see that we retain the value. This is the school I was telling you, which we run, and what we try to do is that one of the key areas where we work with the school is we try to do a lot of work on mental training to the kids, on how can they do visualization, so that whatever dreams they can develop, they can bring it into reality. Because most of the kids which come to this school, they may be the first generation learners in their family. Means their father, grandfather, grand-grandfather, nobody might have gone to the school. Most of them belong to farm laborers, where the poverty drives the kids out of the school anytime. So we try to really see that how we provide an education free of cost, and how we generate the atmosphere in the school so compelling that the kids do not allow parents for them to work on the field, but they prefer to go to the school. And we have been pretty successful in doing it. Now let me come to, see, all of us, we try to, when we start our journey, we try to have some vague idea of our success, how we would like to lead our life. So somebody may like to become a Bill Gates, somebody may say I want to be Elon Musk, somebody may say that I will be Steve Jobs, blah blah. So I try to create my own idea. Now, whenever we talk about defining our success, there are many tools available in the market. I don't know whether you are aware, but one of the tools which initially we used, it talked about you may have a boss or you may have a mentor, and you may try to copy his personality. This is what happens with many people. We may copy personality of our father, we may copy personality of an industrialist or a social reformer, but there is somebody while we grow up that sticks into our mind which we don't know. And that invisible mentality of that person, that attribute, continuously hit on our personality. And we have our personality, and eventually a complex personality comes out, which we call it as a synthesized personality. There are a lot of tools, psychological tools available, where you can measure that. So when I joined my company, the HR experts in that company, they did the analysis of my personality. And what they told me that probably I may like to do a leadership role, then I may like to take a lot of risk, and I'm a person who would love to share the gains rather than meeting with me, what their understanding of me was. And I listened to it, but I don't know whether it was true or not. But eventually I found out that probably what was predicted started becoming true. And then I added some more color. No sooner you become aware of how your personality is, this will be my request to all of you is, that no sooner you are aware what you are, then your intuition will continuously guide you to refine that. And that refinement is very important, because unless you have a goal in life, you will not know what you are doing is right or what you are doing is wrong, because you are going to have successes, you are going to have failures, and probably this indicator will help you in moving in one direction all the time. So this definition definitely helped me, and to a large extent, when I look back, I think that I made it. Now, there were two concepts which heavily impacted me in my life. The first concept was, this is a statement by Akio Morita, the ex-chairman of Sony Corporation. See, when I started my career, I think Sony was at the top. And he often said that man is limited not by his tool but by his vision. And that gave me a confidence that I may not have something, but if I don't have vision, probably I will not get anything. So this is the first thing. And in my professional life, many times it proved to me that I could take goals which were much bigger than what tools which were available with me. The second thing was on the Archimedes principle, that you give me this point and I will leave the earth. So it is talking about there is nothing impossible in this world. Why these 2 points are very important? Because when you go for business, many times you will find that you will not have sufficient data to take a decision. And you have to take a decision. How will you handle that? So you will have to, if you have an ambition that I may say yes, but I will prove yes. This is what it says. So it helped me in my career. Well, there were 2 things which happened because of this attitude. That whenever you drive a team, many times team may not be ready to take a big goal. Because human being is always in a conflict. And the conflict is very simple. On one side we want stability, and on the other side we want growth. So if you want stability, then you will not take big goals. And if you want growth, you will take big goals. So how you handle this? Later on I learned when I visited theory of consent, I will cover that. I could understand how that to be handled. But what I decided, that I will take big goals. What will happen, I may fail. But if I will look around after the failure, probably there would be nobody to compare with me, because nobody has taken a big goal. So still I am a winner. So taking a big goal is not wrong at all. However, what I also understood, that taking a goal and showing that you are putting your 100%, if that second component doesn't happen, then you will have that goal backfiring on you. So I kept that point very well with me, saying that I will always take big goal, because I don't want to be limited by my vision. I don't consider anything impossible, but I will put my efforts. Then probably I will stand out, and this helped in my career all the while. It doesn't mean that I succeeded every time. Maybe 30% of the time I have also failed. I have also taken wrong decisions. I have also done wrong things. I have made blunders. But that 70% kept me going in the direction where I am. Now I will tell you one simple example of this vision. When you say that man is limited, should not be limited by vision. See, we make filters for intelligence. So filter requires a filter paper. And when we started our company, most of our suppliers were either from North America or Western Europe or Korea. And what we found out was that the cost of the raw material, the filter paper itself, was 30 to 40%. And all our competitors were using the same suppliers. So the big question was, how will you differentiate your product? If you go to an OEM customer, then they will ask you why your product is better than the other. Probably many times we used to lose the battle because we could not convince the customer that we have something unique value we are adding. So we said that let us make our own filter paper. Now when we have to make a filter paper, our turnover was 150 million rupees, and the paper plant available to buy was 150 million rupees. So no board of directors will really allow you to do an investment which is equivalent to this. So what we did is, I built up that vision with me that we need to make paper. And what we found out is that if we put some import component and lot of indigenous component, this comes down and we will be able to make a filter paper. And we could do it in 5 to 6 years' time. So when I look back, that by only having a vision, all these solutions came to me. So I became more confident that having a big vision is very, very critical for a bigger jump in success. Now my philosophy on this is, in yoga we always say that whenever we do something, everything happens twice and we never understand it consciously. Everything happens first in the mind and then in reality. For example, we are sitting in this building. Somebody thought of building it, then it came on the drawing board and then this happened. There is nothing in this world which hasn't happened in mind and has happened in reality. I am talking about the creation by human being. I will just keep the God creation away because again there is a solution. So if everything is happening twice, then happening in mind is something is in our control. We can't just discount it. We have to keep it strong with us that if everything happens properly in our mind, then you can create your own destiny. And this is what I have learned more and more. And this is how my visioning become better and better as I move forward. Now my company where I work, actually I started career on 7th of July 77. But I joined this company Fleetguard in 1991. And I was introduced to theory of constraint in 2007 by one of my friends. And that changed all my management philosophy as well as my philosophy to drive my life. Because that gave me a window of opportunity to take even bigger goals, what I otherwise thought very difficult. If you see my journey from 1991 to 2007, I might have grown 10-15% year on year. But from 2007 to say 2018, I have grown 7 to 8 times in 10 years. So I realized that theory of constraint allowed me to do so many things in a bigger and better way. And probably that tool became my philosophy of life. Now these are the typical products we can make. We make about 15,000 products. These are the typical customers I have got in India. For example, these customers belong to truck industry, these belong to generating set, these belong to construction and mining, these belong to air compressor industry, agriculture. So we have got 85, 90 these types of customers in India. We also have export market. And we distribute to about 35,000 retail shops in India, about 200 plus distribution points. So we have a pretty big business portfolio. So what did theory of constraint taught to us? Theory of constraint said that there is inherent potential available in every business. Now I will take this simple case and I will correlate to the latest issue of disruptions which are happening in the market. Let us take the automotive market. Say diesel engine was invented around 1930s or 40s. Then we have the truck makers like Daimler-Benz, Volvo, or General Motors, Chrysler. Then all started making trucks, cars. And then we have in 2005 or 7 Tesla coming up and disrupting the market and providing a product which probably threatened the survival of all the key players. And today they are trying to modify their product portfolios and trying to run behind it. What exactly is this disruption and what is its correlation to inherent potential? See, if you look at General Motors or Ford or Chrysler, they were going year on year. Each one of them were about $100 million company. Daimler was like this, Volvo was like this. But they were stuck into growing with a particular pattern. So the market was $600-700 billion, but all these companies were not looking at inherent potential. Daimler never thought that I want to become 600. Nor General Motors thought that I will become 600. Nor Ford thought that I will become 600. Elon Musk thought that let me become 200. And then what he found out, that if you have to really take such a big jump, you need to add a value which is substantial in nature. And probably he thought that if I replace this diesel engine with this battery, probably the car will become so simple, so cost effective. While Tesla is not cost effective because he's trying to drive on the value of being electric and no emission. Probably someday he will change the value system. But he looked at a big market in a different way. So, if you do not look into a market like this as an inherent potential, then you will keep growing in small increments. And some disruption will disrupt you one day. So when you look at inherent potential, it has a lot of sense in saying that if your visioning is limited to your own past, if you just try to repeat your past and try to remain close to that your success story, then you are not going to survive, a disruption is going to kill. This is the message. So every business has inherent potential. A country like Ukraine can have a GDP of 1 trillion. Why not? That also is the answer. Your country also can have a GDP of 1 trillion. So inherent potential is available for everyone, but we miss looking at it because we always look at past and try to create a better past. But we do not really look at potential. This is what I find is important. Now reality is always simple. This is what A.J. Morgan has said, and in my company I found out. Because what happens is that if you look at our business, see our business, theory of constraint talks about systemic thinking. And systemic thinking means we are having customers, we have suppliers, we have our employees, we have our suppliers, we have shareholders, and we have the government, local government, overlooking the taxation and the interaction. So if you do not have this systemic perspective, then many of your strategy may bounce on you. Because if your strategy, what you will find is that if anything happens in the system, then we also get affected, provided we are sensitive to understand that. Otherwise, you will find that it becomes a challenge. So reality is simple. Means if you understand the interconnections and if you keep watch on the interconnections, then you will find reality simple. For example, if there is a war on borders of India, then how it affects our business is connected in some way. Probably defense production may go up, we will have more demand. Productly, because of the war, some of the commodities, they may have more access because government may like to freeze it. Because of the war, we may have sanctions from United States governments. That could be another thing. But the idea is that if you have a systemic view, then you will be able to pinpoint the core problem you will face. And that is what it means. Reality is always simple. Now this win-win solution and people are good. These are the two things. In our company, we found it very difficult to implement when we started implementing theory of constraint. Win-win solution is if there is a scenario that in my product I put a lot of steel. If the steel price goes up and if my customer says I don't want to give you price increase and my supplier is a very tiny guy, if I don't give it, he will die. Then I taking the charge of supplier and providing him the oxygen he needs is what we call it as win-win. And probably that is where a lot of businesses, they miss this understanding. So win-win is you have to continuously see that there is an equilibrium maintained. And that equilibrium happens on many areas. And you have to keep your eye open to see that equilibrium is happening. If there is a win-lose happening at any point in the system is going to get destabilized and you will have a bigger impact. So understanding that win-win is important. Now when it comes to people are good, this is another thing which we found very tough. Because what happens in organization is if something goes wrong, we find out who has done wrong. And he or she, the head's role. This is what happens. But A.J. Morgan says that if you have an approach that employees are good, then you have a high chance of identifying the systemic root cause. Otherwise, if some employee you remove and you bring a new employee, your policy may be a problem, that new employee also will go. So when he says people are good, he says that learn not to blame people, but try to find out systemic issues. I will give you one example. Assuming that our purchase manager, somebody puts on the whistleblower. Whistleblower, I think all of you might be knowing. Whistleblower it is the right of anyone to complain, and if there is a whistleblower complaint coming to me, saying that this XYZ employee must be taking bribes, let us take it. Now, if you really find an XYZ employee, people will say that, look, he has bought this material which is under quality, and this is the rejection line. So supplier must have given something to him so that he will accept this under quality, and this is where we have a problem. If you really look at that guy who is buying the material, probably his KPI maybe is to reduce cost. If you are giving him reduced cost, he will go all out to reduce cost. He will not bother about quality. He will say this is low, buy from these countries, go to third world countries, go to China, India, and do it. So if you don't understand the systemic problem, then you will keep on punishing people. This is what Elliot had said. And I am not saying that people are good means it is a universal truth. We have made our policies. If somebody is having a misconduct or misbehavior, which is not acceptable, then we do not consider that as good, and there is zero tolerance for us. So we can make conscious policies in the company which give clear guidelines to people which drive systemic solutions. In that case, you will find that most of the people are contributing in nature. This is the message. Now, this is what surprised me. I joined the company in 1991. This was my general growth. Nothing earth-shaking, going step by step. And when I implemented this theory of constraint, in past 10, 11 years, I have grown 7 times in sales and 7 times in profit, which I never thought I would grow. So from where the market came, what happened, when I look back, systematically we have removed a lot of constraint. We have removed the constraint of providing product on time, then modifying the product to get better margins. We have done that on an ongoing basis, and that has resulted in this substantial increase in growth. So the things what I talked about, that the inherent simplicity when I was saying that every system basically there are a lot of interconnections, and you have to identify these connections. And typically, for example, if we go for a medical checkup, and for example, if we have a headache, and if we have a backache, then the doctor's job is to really find out which is the common cause doing it, rather than giving a medicine on headache and medicine on backache. Then it is not going to work. So this is the approach, and what Elliot says, that generally in any organization, there is some inherent conflict. For example, if you take people performance, their inherent conflict is how I will grow or how I will remain stable. This is a typical conflict of people. If you look at operations, whether I should have more productivity would be something the production manager will think, and the quality manager will think that I want right first time, and both may have a conflict. So once you start implementing theory of constraint, you will understand how to identify a conflict so that you can overcome it, and then you can take a substantial jump. What I found out in my company is that I could take a substantial jump, not incremental, substantial. Now, Win-win solution when Indigo talks about, for example, if there is a customer who comes to me saying that you are supplying me product on time, but your price is high. So what we try to do with the customer is that many times a customer understands price in only one angle. Customer has to understand that am I delivering it? If there is a 30% increase, am I sticking to it? For a new product, am I giving him in the time we want? So many times we find that you have to do a lot of work in seeing that your value which you offer is not having a single damage. I am not saying that I want to supply expensive product, but I am saying that the value creation has to be managed very strategically from time to time. In our case, what we try to do is that we try to offer something whereby the total cost of ownership of the customer goes down. So my value will go up, but the cost of ownership goes down. So this is how the win-win solution is. We try to arrive. So customer is getting a low cost of ownership, and my margin is going up. This we talked about the undesirable thing. We look at behavior of people, but if we look at policy, probably blaming people we can avoid. Now, what we are doing now, after our growth, we have established some tools of inventing a new product, delivering a product, distributing a product. Now we are looking at our manpower, which we find as a main issue. If we don't address this, our growth again will start going down. And what we are trying to do is that we are trying to bring in coaching culture within the top management team. See, we all know if you want to build a tall building, you need to go deep in the ground. This is the rule. Or you need a wide base to go tall. So when the organization starts growing in leaps and bounds, you need spare capacity on talent. So how you are going to get spare capacity on talent? And knowing that a talent generally is developed in a unique way in a company, because we also have a cultural issue. So if you want culture to be maintained, then you prefer to grow talent from within. So what we are trying to do is that we are trying to address this issue by pushing our senior management to be measured for how they measure additional people equivalent to them. So on one side, senior management guys will be measured for generating talent. Now this policy of us, probably our competitor will never know that we are adding talent, and this will remain as a competitive edge forever. So we are now addressing our current constraint by generating a coaching culture where senior management will be measured for generating more talent. So this is about the coach. This is how the sustainability issue of our profitability we will be addressing. And what Eli Goldrat often said, he always used to give example of Albert Einstein. Thomas Edison. See, Thomas Edison failed 999 times before he invented the lamp. So what does it say? It says that with every failure, he got enough energy to do the next experiment. This is a very important point. With every failure, he derived enough energy to do the next experiment. And we would like that to happen so that not only the width of knowledge, the depth of knowledge will happen. For example, the reality keeps on changing. And what theory of consent is saying, that if you give a solution today, you will find that that solution may not work, say, after 2 years, because reality has changed. But reality will give you a lot of insights, what needs to change. So you need a mechanism to understand that what has changed and why my solution is not working. We all of us see that a lot of companies come out with a new product and then sales drop because something else is happening in the market. People are getting more options, people are getting more value or better value. So understanding that reality and doing experimentation is what he calls as a scientist. And he says that scientist's basic strength is he gets more energy out of failures to search for the truth. I think this is a very important point. So you need a culture of coaching at senior level, but you also need a culture of experimentation at all levels, at process engineering, product engineering, design engineering, market research, quality engineering. So if people keep on experimenting and if you allow experimenting, then you will get so much of knowledge which you can very well use for developing new leaders in the company, and then you will remain on the sustainable curve. This is what we are trying to do as a company. Now when we look at learning, now there are a lot of tricky things. See, we run a school, so a lot of our experimentation goes in our school where we have first generation learners. So what exactly is the learning? We talk about artificial intelligence, but we do not understand the catch in it. How we learn? See, basically we get some experience, then we reflect. What does it reflect means? We already have some information available in our brain as memory. So our brain unconsciously or subconsciously identifies the pattern on what is the input signal. And from there is a smart guy, if he is a learner, good learner, he will make a concept and he will prove that concept. And he will say, yes, this new thing which is coming up, this should be the knowledge. And then we conclude. So this is a learning cycle which typically happens. And if it happens only on this stage, then we call it as a blind faith. Especially if you look at a lot of religious learning happens in this area. And if you really look at scientists, it takes this. So we have to push people to go to this level. Only then he becomes a scientist. So we have a method of really pushing people to do application engineering of knowledge. Simply it translates into how you will give people a theory and ask them to develop applications. If you do that simple experiment, then the learning happens very fast and then you generate a scientist of tomorrow. So this is what we are trying to do with that. We are pushing people to show the applications. So we will show them a specific case, push them to evolve a generic business model, and then we will ask them to validate with the developers. So if they can move from specific to generic, we have a method called as learnability index. So we rate them very high. If somebody who sees something in the market as specific, a customer calls specific and converts that into generic. For example, one of our marketing guy, what he understands, because when you go to constraints are happening only in the mind. They are invisible in nature. Our marketing guy found out that the problem with my OEM customer is synchronization of various parts. So he says that if a truck has to be launched on a time, there are hundreds and thousands of parts that have to come in, they have to integrate, these parts talk to each other, and related to us, there are 7 or 8 transactions which are happening. If we provide insight to our customer, we have a very high chance of winning the business. Not only winning the business, we can get more value. So understanding that this internal synchronization is a bigger need of our customer, otherwise mechanical engineering is straightforward. So that insight gave us so much benefit in adding so much value to our product. But coming back to this learning, if we strictly follow this purpose as well as our organization, we can take very big steps in generating the scientists, is what I'm saying. So, as I said, scientist, unless he or she mentally validates the concept, they don't conclude on it. So conclusion is the point. When you tell somebody something and if they say yes, means thinking hasn't happened. It's a blind faith. So conclusion is your cross-check by senior management. If you tell them something and if they come back in a ditto manner, then learning hasn't happened. It's a blind faith. Then you have to push them, telling them that this is not what you want. You want application of knowledge to prove that they have understood. And if we keep that happening every minute, you are bound to develop scientists. And you are bound to develop yourself. Let us understand that you go to a restaurant and you like a recipe. Do you do your thinking? Why I like it? No. There is something happened that that particular taste or that particular presentation or that particular price or all together was matching something in your memory. And if you can correlate that, and that is why you liked it, probably you have learned it. But many times we don't take these steps and we still depend on our memory to conclude. Rather, we are very fast in concluding. And that is a big trap. We found out that the people in the organization who do not agree to you could be the scientists because they are thinking. Guys who say yes, you have a problem. This is what we found out. So we want more and more people who will not agree at first sight. They will take their time, they will go back, they will do their thinking and come back. If somebody says yes, we push him back. He says no, don't tell us yes, show us where will you use knowledge. Then you will find that they understand what they don't understand. Now, as I said, on my journey, all this psychological thinking, theory of constraint have benefited me. But I thought that there could be something beyond, because in our India, yoga system plays a very big role. Because today what happens? You go to anybody, you will say, look, you are overweight, so you need to take exercise for your body, you need to do diet. But nobody talks about taking exercise for mind. This is what I say is the most critical element missing. And this is what we are trying to promote to people. That you have to take efforts to train your mind. Mind is not going to be trained just like it. Mind is a finer instrument than body. And it needs exercise. But if you do exercise to your mind, and this is where we find that in our yoga system there is a method to train the mind, then you can understand reality much more. You can understand the customer mind much more. You can know the consumer patterns much more. And what I talked about the learning cycle, it is already reflected in our yoga. I will quickly tell you what. See, in our yoga system, what they say is that if you want to understand something, what you need a focus. And you need to focus on the reality. And you should not conclude. If you keep on not concluding, there will be a point where the knowledge will happen by itself. This is what yoga says. And it gives these 5 steps. You have to first understand that there are do's and don'ts. Those have to be followed. Then you need some stability in the body. Then you need to have a capability to handle distractions. For example, what we try to do is you go in a busy street and try to read a book. Make a practice. Sit in a train and try to read a book. Go to the airport where there is a noise or market and practice how to handle distraction. Or put your television channel on and try to read. Or draw a painting. There are many ways because distraction is happening to us. You go to your house and you have 500 TV channels. What is that? Then your WhatsApp is I think giving message every minute. People you see continuously looking at the iPhone. So what is happening is that iPhone is full of distraction. It is taking your mind all the time away. So this state of distraction, you have physical stability distraction, then you start concentration. So people say do meditation. That has no meaning. Unless these 3 are there, that meditation is not going to happen. And you will not get good benefits out of it. And then you will find knowledge by yourself. So, what I would like to say is, for us to be successful, we need good health and good mind. And today's word, mind health, you have to take time out, which is not happening. Yoga, there could be other tools, I don't know, but I thought yoga can do it for me. And the only distance between the truth and our understanding is our error of perception. And that error of perception is what yoga, I think, can do it. Thank you.